You guys, what is going on? It's your boy Pladdy here. Finally, OBS decides not be a cunt, and of course, finally, we're back with the Great Potato Podcast, episode 7.
Woo.
Almost up to
Yeah.
10. Once we get over that 10 hump, I feel like we'll be going pretty strong.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but as always, I have my co-host, my partner in crime, Dave, aka TheGreatOwl, aka the man who loves Nicki Minaj's proportions but lives in Japan, so it makes absolutely no sense. What is going on, dude?
Oh, I'm having a good life. These last few days, big news coming in the following week for me, but I soldier on, good or bad. Life continues, so do I.
Damn straight. So everything in out east is going pretty well, eh?
Yeah, it of course, little life has its ups and downs, but I stay busy, and that busyness keeps me positive. It's when I stop doing stuff, that's when I end up in a rut, and I've been staying busy, so I'm staying on top of things. Yeah, it's good out in the land of the rising sun.
Yeah. So as some of you guys may know, actually all of you guys that listen to the podcast every week will notice that we haven't uploaded in about a month. That's due to a bunch of scheduling shits, me not being awake at a good enough time for both of our schedules to match up, and then some days I had to do some shit, some days Dave had to do some shit, and it just wasn't working out. But finally we got it up, or we got the thing going, and we're
Miracles
back.
do happen.
Yes. Do you believe in miracles? It's just a
I do
thing.
indeed.
Yeah. So, what's been going on down your way lately, as of the past month?
Past month, what have I been working on? I've been really trying to evolve my travel channel with greater editing, because I've moved to a better software. I use Sony Vegas now, but of course, if you say Sony Vegas, it's basically a magical spell that then summons anyone who uses Adobe Photoshop to voice their opinion on the fact that you're using inferior software.
Adobe
Which
Photoshop.
I know, in After Effects and whatever. It's true, but I do so willingly, and it's been really, really good. I'm discovering a whole new world of editing compared to my free Windows Movie Maker magic. That was really, really amazing. So I'm really enjoying that. I've had a few victories in terms of a little bit more viewership. Incredibly grateful to the subscribers of both channels, have been amazing. That's something I could talk about actually in the video, is just my appreciation for my subscribers. I had never thought when I started I knew I would be providing people who come to check out the content with some help, because that's what I set out to do. But now that things have kind of picked up with it, and there's been a variety of situations that people are commenting on, more often than not, it seems like subscribers are helping me out in my life. So it's a great surprise. The whole social community thing that's happening is really, really good right now. Specifically talking about, I was mentioning with you just as we got set up there, that I have a great job opportunity right now, and it's because of a subscriber. So if I get this, that just these weird things that happen in life, if somebody had told me, did you know that the best job that you're going to get in Japan is not only because you started a YouTube channel, but because then you had somebody who watched your videos, pointed you in the direction of a good job? It just seems as unlikely as your birth.
Yeah.
So I'm really humbled by that, and that's probably the best thing going on. And aside from that, just staying busy with all the things that interest me. I was mentioning to Pladdy here that I'm working on a video that should be up today on my travel channel, where I've actually for the first time done writing for the video itself. Small writing, because memorizing a whole script is quite difficult, but that's a new thing for me. It's good. What about you? You are in Saskatchewan, right?
No, I
Is that
was.
correct?
Well, I've lived all over Canada. Right now I'm in Ontario. We
Ontario, sorry.
Yeah, we
Ontario.
might be moving. I might be moving out west soon.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, on the island, or well, near the island area.
What you? But would is there any chance you might end up on the island?
No, because I
Okay.
mean, this. I mean, I don't have a couple $1 million to spare to buy a house.
Okay.
So,
Sure. Sure. Sure.
yeah, or half $1 million to buy a plot of land and then build a house. You know.
Yeah, the
So
islands. There's definitely That's one thing I noticed that, man. That's an interesting thing to talk about that you don't see as much. If you take the ferry from Vancouver to Vancouver Island, I have a buddy who lives in Mill Bay. That's where I'm from originally, and he would drive his boat up the coast and then pick me up from the ferry, docking his boat at where like there's a little private docking area, and then we would ride his boat then back along the coast to his house.
yeah,
The houses that you see along the coastline of Vancouver Island, because you don't drive out to them, obviously, I've never seen them living on the island where I am, are palatial. They look like mafia homes,
yeah,
like
it's incredible.
stonework. It goes down to the shoreline with like 8 garages, and like I really wonder, like there are some crazy people living there and they're not out in the public eye that often, and I wonder who it is, because I swear there's like 8 Batman hideouts along the side of there if you go along the coastline. It's really
Well,
crazy.
one of those houses has to have like they're so expensive. There's no way that none of them have like a secret bat cave kind of thing. At
Oh,
least
no doubt,
one of them
no
has
doubt.
to have like a bat cave kind of thing.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah. So that's a thing that might be happening. We'll probably be just outside of the city though. Um,
Okay, cool.
so relatively close to the island, but not on the island because it's expensive, and not in the city because it's also really fucking expensive. Um,
So you're talking about what, like Victoria? Oh
um,
no, not on the island.
no,
That's what
not
you
on
mean,
the
outside
island.
of
Just
Vancouver.
just just outside of Vancouver. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's doable. Totally
Yeah.
doable.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I lived all over Canada.
Okay, crazy.
Recently I was in Alberta, like middle
Okay,
of
sure.
farm country Alberta. I don't want to say where because
Gotcha,
just
gotcha.
in case I do move back there, it's a really small fucking town. Not hard to find somebody. um,
Sure.
and yeah, no, that was our plate. Like surprisingly enough, the internet in Alberta, like farm country Alberta, it's so good. Like it is
Really?
retardedly good. Like
That's awesome. I guess price performance. How expensive is it?
uh I think we were paying like $70 a month for
Okay.
300 for
Okay,
like
not crazy.
300 down, 300 up.
Woo. Okay, yeah, that's lightning fast.
Yeah, here it's almost 200 a month for like 25 down, 5 up.
Damn.
Yeah. But we're probably going to be getting fiber in here soon, so I mean, it'll probably be the same price for 300, 300.
Okay.
So,
Talking about there's something we could just jumping around like whatever there. There's something we could talk about very, very briefly. That I saw in the recent news, kind of tech news, is have you ever heard of Li-Fi?
no, I have not.
Li-Fi is it's Wi-Fi, but done as opposed to on radio waves on light, and they can use like the light spectrum to transfer information between things. That sounds so straight sci-fi. It absolutely blows my mind. I'm gonna cough. Excuse me. um, but I was reading about all the benefits of this in terms of it's supposed to be something like 100 times faster than Wi-Fi. It's localized, so it's actually far more secure because Wi-Fi, the radio waves like are in and around your place, so somebody could potentially hack into them.
Yeah.
Where Li-Fi is local to the light source that's illuminating the space. It is far away yet from being, call it, consumer based. It's more commercially based right now that they're kind of testing it out, but just shows the sort of like wild possibilities for it, because it means that if you were out in a day walking around a street, well, any light could then be used for it. It's like a universal provider of connectivity. Oh, and as well, it has less of a physical repercussion because light waves don't do anything to you unless, of course, you're talking about like ultraviolet, bad rays from the sun.
Yeah.
And there's all this debate about whether the Wi-Fi signals that we use from Wi-Fi, I don't even know if it's a debate. Maybe it's already concluded that it's really, really unhealthy for you. So I thought that was really interesting. I was like, look at them now. Look at all the crazy shit they're up to. Kind of cool.
Yeah, well, I don't feel like Wi-Fi is that unhealthy for you because people have been using cordless phones and phones in general for how many years? And how many times have you heard of somebody using a phone and dying from it? With the exception of like batteries overheating and stuff like that.
There is a pretty good history of it. I think it's more they haven't had long-term experience with smartphones. Like when was the first iPhone released, right? It wasn't that long ago.
I think it was like what, 2006?
Yeah, so I mean that is a case study. It's pretty good. You're looking at 6 years or whatever, but maybe not the hugest, so it's a little up in the air. But I think at least it's at least shown so far that it's not short-term effect. It's not going to within 5 years give you a brain tumor, because that doesn't seem to be reported horribly. But I don't know about the long term or whatever.
Yeah, June 29th, 2007. So it's 1 year off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
That was the first iPhone.
Cool.
Yeah, but I mean, cordless phones pretty much work the same way as smartphones with and whatnot, fucking with like science, built-in antennas and radio waves and shit that I don't know too much about. I just use it. I know how to make the things go beep boop on the computer. I don't know how the things go up into the air and come to other people's computers and go beep boop.
You and I both.
I can just make the beeps and the boops. But yeah, so since we didn't have a movie for this week. I mean, we did have a movie, but we didn't really say it on the show, so I mean, it was kind of like a loosely based movie, and then we thought we were going to have a guest, so we were just going to set it back. I was thinking, why don't we do something a little bit different? Because I know there's some people that watch your on the Great Owl channel, your side of the your upload of the podcast, and I got this from one of your viewers, Chris City Rocks, I think his name is. Shout out to you, homie. Or Chris J Rocks, Chris City. It's one of those.
Chris Rocks, yes.
Chris Rock, funniest comedian ever. Just kidding. Russell Peters is better, but Russell Peters isn't even that good. Tom Segura is pretty great. But that's off topic. I was thinking, why don't we do an anime series for the quote-unquote movie this time? Because you mentioned to me in the pre-show that you wanted to get back into the animus in one way or another.
I absolutely do. I even have a few on mind that I would like to check out, unless you want to specifically make a recommendation.
I mean, I might have seen the ones that that you're about to mention, but
okay, that's true.
I'm totally down with rewatching a series if it was good. Okay. So what kind of ones do you have?
The one that I was thinking about watching seemed so interesting was called Tokyo Ghoul.
I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen that one. It's a really good series, actually.
I'd be open to sure if you want to. Maybe there's one you haven't seen. Well, we can both then experience some new media. Did you have one in mind?
I mean, I had a few in mind, but they were also ones that I have seen. There was one that I told you about in the pre-show as well, Clanad or Clanad.
Yes.
That one is really sad, and I kind of wanted to hear your reaction to it and see how it really hit you.
Okay, I see.
There was also Angel Beats, which you also mentioned in the pre-show. You had a buddy bring up to you, and he's a big fan of it, I guess. And that's another pretty sad one, but it's not sad till like the very end.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what it is about sad anime. It's just really, it's always sad anime is always the best anime in my opinion.
Yeah, they
So,
do some great stuff. They do some great stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't we do Colonnade or what did you call it? You call it.
I mean, you can say Clanad, you can say Clanad, you can say Cullinad. I mean, all of those work. It's an Irish word. It's an Irish word for family people. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So
How do you spell it?
Clanad.
Clanad. Okay. Okay.
Here,
all right.
I'll send you a link to something real quick, so you can just watch it on your computer. You don't gotta download anything. Would you rather watch it in Japanese or English?
I'd watch it in the Japanese with subtitles. Be good practice for me.
Good call. But yeah, so I was thinking we could do Clanad this week. There's 24 episodes, like 25 minutes apiece, and then we'll do Clanad After Story next week, if you're down for that.
Cool. All right. I'll hit it up.
All right. Okay, so I'm sending you this link on Twitter right now. So there's that.
Okay. Perfect.
And that's where you can watch it.
Wicked. All right.
100
we'll
100% 100% not a streaming site, guys. It's called ipayforanime.com because it's totally not expensive at all. And yeah, it's a really good series.
Cool. All right.
And I especially want to get your take on episode 7, because episode 7 was the only one in Clanad that actually really hit me.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say the starfish, man. Starfish.
Okay.
Yeah. Just you'll understand, but the starfish. Hashtag the starfish.
Okay.
But
now I'm so curious.
Yeah, dude. It's great. It really is great. So yeah, what kind of Actually, no. Let's talk about U.S. politics right now, because U.S. politics is always fun to talk about, and how much of a train wreck it is. So what's your take on the way that the presidential election is going right now?
I think ever and always it's far more interesting than Canadian politics. Although Canadian politics definitely got a shot in the arm with the recent election. It's not so stagnant, but I think it's really, really interesting to watch, because to me, you don't see any other politics in the world that are so, to me, like movie-esque, where I think it's funny that the Republicans are so cartoonishly evil. Like, they're so bad, it boggles my mind that I can understand that people, when you are directly in something, like, say, for example, a bad relationship, it's harder for you to comprehend exactly what's going on. You have so much emotional investment in it, and you can't properly perceive what it is that is occurring. And so that is not to judge the people who might support Republicans, because I got like a really good friend back in Canada who is from Pennsylvania in the States, and he was the greatest guy to talk to and debate with over this stuff, because he was like staunch Republican, and he always came up with really interesting counter arguments to what I would say about how it was going. But now I think it's hilarious. I think that it tells you a really interesting story in the fact that Americans are so disillusioned that they're appealing to somebody like Trump, or Trump has so much popularity. To me, that's like really, really terrifying, because it means that's how bad times are, that somebody could come in like that who is cartoonishly evil, as I described,
Yeah.
but would have such a pull.
I mean, I don't feel like Trump is an evil man, honestly. I feel like Trump is genuinely doing what he feels is the right thing. And you know all those Americans that are like, hey, America, we're the greatest country in the world. When Donald Trump gets elected president, we're not gonna let you into Canada, because fuck you, that's why. You gonna talk shit about Canada? Well, you can let Donald Trump fuck up your country. So I kind of want to see him win.
Okay.
I want to
Okay.
see him. I want to see
Interesting.
him build that wall. You do you,
I.
Donald Trump. You have my support. I will buy a T-shirt saying Donald Trump for president. But
Oh
I'm,
man. He.
but I will root
Yeah.
for Kanye West in 2020.
Excellent. Excellent. He. Yeah, I think it's self-evident with the many, many, many times he's spoken. Evil is, like you said, he honestly believes everything that he's saying, but then at worst, he's incredibly ignorant and stupid. To
Oh yeah,
say the things
100%.
that he says about different ethnic groups, to say the things that he says about different genders, to the fact that he has zero accountability for the things that he says as well is kind of an embarrassment. That's what blows me away, is that yeah, I guess people are respecting because he calls it like it is and he doesn't apologize, but that's like basically respecting a bully in a schoolyard because they stand up for what they believe in. That's an abuse of power. That's not power properly used, you know? Like, so
Yeah.
yeah, stand up for somebody believing in what they believe in, but then check out what exactly it is that they believe in. So and then I like comparing between the two, and honestly, I kind of, I would get where you're coming from a bit more when I compare him to the other, what seems to be one of the front runners with them. I believe his name is Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz seems like the slimiest, just as an objective. What does this person make you feel like when you watch him and his behavior and mannerisms? Trump wins hands down, where I'm like, at least Trump is charismatic. Maybe his charisma then blinds you to the sort of evil, like, opinions that he has. Ted Cruz seems like a sort of coercive, creepy, slimy, employed by the Dark Lord agent. Like watching that guy, so I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But like I said, I get a sort of like Hollywood entertainment from it because their personalities are also like bigger than life. Where in Canada, usually it's like watching paint dry. These
Hey,
guys are like real individuals.
Justin Trudeau though. All the credit to the guy. I mean, so far, I mean, he's been doing pretty well, and he like some of the stuff that he's done. I mean, it's it's the same. It's that kind of Hollywood esque, um, something that wouldn't fly back in 1990. Like celebrity boxing matches and stuff like that.
Absolutely, and that's why I said maybe up until recent memory, because Trudeau does stand as a great, difference compared to our previous prime minister, who was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Who I would like unashamedly say that I for a period of time I voted for the Conservatives, which eventually led to him going into power, because the Liberals at that point, I think Canadians are so slow to move, man. When the Liberals, by the time that the Conservatives eventually took power, had something like four brutal scandals to their name before Canadians were willing to boot them out. But to me, that's almost what you have to do when I look at history. It's that it's human nature that as soon as somebody gets incredibly entrenched in a political system, it's almost like humans can't help themselves. To guard their own self-interest, they become corrupt. So you
Mhm.
eventually have to elect in a new government just to remove the sort of entrenched power systems that are forming from the government that's been there too long. And so it was good to get the new Liberals in. They are a shot of life in Canada. And it was at a great time in the pendulum swing where Canada was becoming, in my mind, far too conservative and needed, for better or for worse, to lighten up a little bit and move away from the brink of being, they were supposed to be known. It really damages our world image to have somebody like the previous Harper in there, because he was so conservative. We're supposed to be this inclusive cultural mosaic, and it was starting to become like an us against them scenario that was forming, where I think completely gone. Canada is reinvigorated. When the world looks at Canada now, they think, oh, they're back to that old inclusive, considerate of all other cultures, offensively polite, like really, really good reputation for us. And those things do matter on a world stage when you go out, because I can say, when I speak to the Japanese here and their impressions of America, it did a lot for American world reputation when Obama was elected, because the Japanese looked at that, and I've talked to a lot of them, and they've said that seemed to indicate that they were open-minded and that they would try new things and that they weren't hell-bent on going to hell, that they weren't, that's sort of redundant, but that they weren't, you know, a war-minded people to go in that direction. Your international reputation does matter. It matters for when people travel. So and that's something else I could go into, like the whole Canadian side, but we're talking about the American side.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, I guess that's like a big broad spectrum. I think the Republicans are cartoonishly evil, and as such, I really enjoy watching them. And then on the Democratic side of things, it's a whole new barrel of monkeys, we'll say. Like, do you want to talk about either or, Republicans or Democrats? Your kind of thoughts?
I
on
mean,
them?
I don't know too much about the parties. I just know who I line up most with, and honestly, I like. I think it's Bernie Sanders,
Yeah, Bernie.
the old guy.
Yeah, Bernie.
Yeah, I mean Bernie
He's
Sanders.
amazing.
He seems like a genuine, like, down to earth kind of guy. That's not. Well, all the presidents are quite shady. I mean, let's be honest. But I mean, as far as the shadiness goes, he's not a George Bush. He's
No, man.
he's less shady than Obama, and Obama was kind of middle of the road shady.
Yeah, but I would still say, yeah, Obama was a little shady with the different things that he said he would do and then didn't deliver on. But I completely agree. I would unashamedly say, I'm like, no, I actually think that Bernie Sanders, oh my God, is a good politician, which is almost unheard of. And to me, it's really exciting because it shows to you the quality of someone's character mattering more than their physical embodiment. Because physical embodiment, he's almost worse than Trump. He's the classic old rich white guy.
Yeah.
But when you hear him speak and you get to his values and the things that he stands for and his consistency with what he believes, all those things fade away, and it's only his character that makes him worth voting for. He's a good, honest man, and that means that you can be a rich white guy, you can be black, you can be anything. It just, your quality of character is what matters. So that's one aspect of why I really, really like him as a candidate, and I hope to God that he wins, especially when his opponent is Hillary. And I think Hillary is an evil cyborg robot who is the most political person in politics. Like, she's almost like slimier than Ted Cruz in that she's such a game player. Like, she is there for the game. It has all to do with the power of politics. I do not believe it has to do with her personal successes and rise to power more than the country or the people or anything. And I feel like everything in her behavior screams to that. Probably, maybe, I don't know where to like classify it in, but the biggest thing to me in America, which should hit everybody on the head, is their banks and the corruption of their monetary system, and how Bernie Sanders unequivocally wants to annihilate it, to take it down, and to correct it, where she would still keep the big banks together. And there's a whole bunch of like monetary regulation that she wants to leave in place that would allow the big banks to continue their abuses, where I can't remember, it's called like Brass-Steagall or Glass-Steagall. It's this particular law in investment that protects unregulated investment from running wild and things like a bailout from having to happen. And it was the Clintons, it was Bill Clinton who, with the banks backing him, removed it. And now Hillary Clinton would keep that removed, whereas Bernie wants to reintroduce it again. And he clearly, the man clearly, again, it's so funny to me how, yeah, I've been wrong a million times in my life, and I'll be wrong a million times again. But there are just these certain things where you're like, oh, that's the good guy, and that's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, when life is usually so black and white or shades of gray, it's like, no, Bernie is the good guy here. If you want the world to move into a new, hopeful resurgence of growth and openness and progress and the great American dream to come alive again, vote for him. If you want anything other than that, vote for Hillary, Ted Cruz, or Trump. Like, it's plain as day, but of course it's difficult to see that when you're on the ground and stuff.
Yeah. Um, so you mentioned Hillary, and I was wondering, did you see the video of Hillary on Ellen doing the dab?
What? No.
You haven't seen it?
She she does a dab?
Yeah. Well, the dab. You know what the dab is, right?
Oh, well, I know what dabs are, but maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No,
Oh
that's what
no.
that's what made it very that's what made it like ironic and funny was she didn't know
Okay.
what a dab was. She just knew the dance move, the dab.
Okay. Okay. Oh no. No, yeah, oh, it's so awkward. It makes like she doesn't become somebody was making fun of this. It was like Colbert was like she doesn't become hip, she becomes more white.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
All right, here.
Yes.
Let me. All right, this one's a minute and 10. Queue up at 0, and we'll do a reaction, and then that'll take us into another topic. No, I don't want full
Oh.
screen. Another topic that I don't know if you knew about or not. All right,
Okay.
so
Cool.
here is a link to Laydab.
The dab.
Oh, should probably change that so I don't share something that I don't want to. Window capture.
Full window captured hardcore porn. Well, we're casting. What are you doing?
No, that's not what I'm doing. All right, so you queued up at 0.
I've never actually done a message link when I'm in here.
No, I sent it to you on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
same place. I sent you the link to Clan.
Okay. Bring it up. Let's see this ridiculousness. All right, I got it. I'm watching it. So what
All right,
is it's like?
so
It's gonna be
you're
in
at
the
0?
background here. 3, 2, 1.
One,
Yeah,
play.
watching it.
Okay, mine's not playing right.
Ooh.
Oh. I'm a little bit behind.
Oh, sweet Christ. Sweet baby Jesus in golden fleecy diapers.
Oh.
She dabs. I was like, oh man, that really is progressive if she's dabbing now. She must be
Yeah,
desperate. to be
she's
this
really getting behind that legal marijuana thing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so yeah, I found that kind of entertaining.
That is, she like I say, she's just an awkward, evil robot. So no wonder when she attempts to show humanity, it completely fails.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't even do it right.
No.
She brought her arms up. You're supposed to bring your head down into your elbow, right?
There's a way.
Yeah, no, there was another one where these 2 Seattle Seahawks players were like doing a post-game interview or pre-game, and the interviewer guy, he's like, "So do you guys dab?" And they're like, "Well, it's legal in Seattle, isn't it?" And yeah, no, it was hilarious because the interviewer meant, you know, like the dance move.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Haha.
But I'm sure you'll see some dabbing at the Super Bowl
No doubt. When is the Super Bowl?
one of these days.
Okay, sure. That's one. I have no idea. I know as much about the Super Bowl as I do about sumo in Japan.
Yeah, but sumo is pretty cool though.
It is, yeah. Well, and so is the Super Bowl. I'm not that connected to sports, though.
I mean, the Super Bowl is cool, but I mean, it's full of commercials. Sumo is a bunch of big fat guys throwing each other off of a circle.
Sure, sure. And apparently there's big news in sumo right now that it's being dominated by foreigners for the last while, but there's like a great new Asian hope, this guy who's done incredibly well, who might dethrone the current foreigner champion. born in Japan. I don't know if that event has happened already, but it was fairly recent news and big exciting headlines and stuff like that across Japan. I mean, obviously, because it's like their national sport. That is one of their absolute favorites, even behind something like baseball or their more traditional sports like kendo or judo.
Yeah, judo's cool. Judo's got a lot of.
Cool.
Judo's probably my favorite martial art of all of them, honestly.
Well, it's actually viable. It's actually a real form of self-defense as opposed to more of a physical art or discipline that's beautiful and, you know, mentally regulating. It's like, no, you can actually defend yourself.
Yeah, you know, that's why the Chinese hate Japan so much, because the Japanese can actually defend themselves in hand-to-hand combat, unlike karate and whatever the fuck they have in China.
Fair enough.
Oh,
yeah.
I give you the chicken bowl, only $34.50. That was racist, but it was funny.
Yeah.
So, got an option here.
White boy. Yeah.
Hey, white boy, I give you a chicken ball and butterfly poke. So we got two options for topics here. We can talk about this copyright story that's been happening recently, or we can play a quick game.
Let's go quick game.
All right.
Riddle me this. What are we doing?
Well, what do we always do? We always play Would You Rather. Hypothetical situations.
Would you rather.
And Would You Rather.
Okay. Yep.
In hopes that you remember that dope question that you thought of.
Good ones.
Yeah.
That's gonna kill me.
It's too bad you didn't write it down.
I really should have. Next time, if I'm ever struck thinking about those, I will make a note.
All right.
I usually would.
Yeah. So the way that we're gonna do this though is by a point-based system. So there is this site called wouldyourather.io. So what it gives you, you know, would you rather question, right?
Yep.
And you pick one, and whichever one more people pick, like has a higher percentage, is the one that you get, basically. If that makes sense. You don't lose a point. We start with we both have 3 points, and if you get the lower percentage, you lose a point. If you get the higher percentage, you don't lose anything, but you also don't gain anything. And first one to 0 points loses.
Okay, and how do we determine those percentages? What is that taken from?
It's taken from the site. The site actually tells you what the percentages are of people that picked.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, that sounds cool. Let's do that.
All right, so
Let's do that then.
Yeah, there's nothing that needs to be done on your part, unless of course you want to ask me questions. But I'm pretty sure they're the same thing everywhere on either site. So I mean, yeah, I'm recording it anyways. I got the thing up, so yeah, we can do that, or you know, it's up to you.
We'll you just run with it. Tell me what to do, and we'll go.
All right. Well, okay. So here's the deal. I'll send you this link, and I'll ask you this first question. I sent it to you on Twitter. I'll ask you this first question, and then you ask me the next question, and we'll go on that way. All right.
Okay, it's loading up.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's all loaded up for you.
Yes.
Would you rather spend a year with the Pope or spend a year with the Dalai Lama?
Dalai Lama, hands down. Although the
easy.
new Pope, I hear he's very good.
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're still at 3 points. All right. So
okay. What do I click that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
You see the arrow? You just pick that one.
Okay. So now, how do I refresh it with the new question?
No. There's an arrow on the side of the screen, like next to the questions, like you know what that red box is. It's on the complete side of the screen. You just click that arrow.
Oh, I see it. Okay, yeah. Okay, so the question for you is: play a game of one-on-one with Michael Jordan, or play a game of one-on-one with Kobe Bryant. Oh,
that's easy. Michael Jordan, 100%.
Yes, of course. Yeah, 76%.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one's way too easy. Okay. Would you rather brutally assault a police officer or brutally assault a well-known gang member? You're fucked either way.
Brutally assaulting either of those will get you killed or in prison for a long period of time.
Yeah.
I'm going to assault the police officer.
You do. Oh, you lose a point. That's only at 30. You got 37% on that one, 63 in the gang member.
Damn it.
These people aren't thinking because a gang member will kill your ass.
Yeah, at least I'm only going to prison for life.
A Japanese police officer, you really think they're gonna... Do they even carry guns?
They don't, but Japanese prison is a special kind of hell. It's not... Japanese prison is not about, when you rehabilitate, it's to punish. Like, you aren't allowed to speak. You get... Anyways, yeah. No, I'd be screwed. I'm basically screwed.
Okay. So it's 3-2. I have 3, you have 2.
Okay, so this one I think is also easy for you. You have to end every sentence with a racist epithet or have to drop 2 F-bombs in every sentence.
F-bombs. Easy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're fine.
You're fine. That one's... I know the answer to that one. Okay, would you rather be as you are now or have $100 million but have a 5% chance of instant death?
I will take the 5% chance of instant death with the money, please.
Yeah, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yeah, that's you got 58% on that one.
Whew, okay, yours is up next. Would you have your house burnt down by a fire-breathing dragon or have your house blown down by the big bad wolf? I think that's easy.
The big bad wolf.
Really, big bad wolf, eh?
Yeah, big bad wolf will fucking burn you to death.
You lose a point, my friend.
Oh, really? Rip.
Yep, you lose a point. You get to see a dragon in the other situation. The other one's just like a wolf.
Yeah, but you die in the other situation.
Touché. I hear that's bad.
Yeah, it is. I also added a counter on the recording, so it's a lot easier that way.
Oh man, you get a cool next question. I want to answer the next one. But anyways, what's mine?
Okay, would you rather have only reheated leftovers for the rest of your life or pay to eat out at restaurants for every meal for the rest of your life?
I will pay to eat out.
Yeah, and where are you getting the leftovers from if you're not, like...
Exactly. Hell, I almost live like that already.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Japan, you kind of have to live like that sometimes, eh? Like, food's so fucking expensive out there.
It can't... Well, actually, it's not bad. You could.
Well, okay, the kind of food that I eat is really fucking expensive out there. Because I like my red meats.
Fair enough. All right, new question for you. Would you have your lair be underwater or have your lair be on the side of a cliff?
Underwater. So much harder to
Really?
find. Yeah, that's just so much harder to find. If I'm a super villain...
the cool factor.
Yo, think about being at the bottom of the ocean. You're the only one that knows what the fuck is down there.
And you do keep your point. 62% agree with you.
Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna take or give or whatever for this one. This was just a kind of ironic one. But would you rather live in a foreign city and not know the language or live on an island alone?
I will live in the foreign city.
Yeah, obviously.
Huh.
I just
I
thought.
wonder what that's like.
Yeah, that'll be kind of crazy, eh? All right, let me find on. Okay. Would you rather have all non-fiction writing up till present day destroyed, or have all fiction writing up until present day destroyed?
I only for the sake of humanity, but I would destroy the fictional writing.
Oh wow, you're no fun, dude. And Walt, 58% of people agree with you.
Also, because I think that nonfiction is stranger than fiction at times. read a good biography and you'll see, you're like, wow, this is better than any movie ever. And anyways, that's an easy one to defend. It's actually easy to defend.
Yeah, but think about it.
But
Non-fiction can be skewed by government very easily.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. But we'll I get seriously. That's worth a debate there for hours. You need to answer this far more important question than that.
Okay.
You need to answer: would you sit on a cold toilet seat, or would you sit on a warm toilet seat? No laughing.
Is that an actual question?
That's terribly important.
Is that obviously the warm toilet seat? I don't care if somebody else was taking a poop as long as it doesn't smell like shit. I'm not gonna I don't care.
You've lost the point.
Really?
Yeah, man. And people are really messed up too, because if you're in Japan,
yeah,
that's just what the toilet seats do here. When you walk by your toilet, it asks you how you're doing. It warms itself up. It does all that. So it doesn't
brings you a beer.
It brings you a beer. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to have somebody's hot ass that you're connecting with. Yeah, that's a very Western tilted question right there, I have to say.
Yeah,
yes, you lose a point.
That's ridiculous.
This
even
is so insulting.
I was even taking it from a Western standpoint. Like, who actually cares if somebody just took a poop? Like, you're not making any contact with the water. You're not making any contact with the bowl. It's just a seat.
Yeah, it's true. These are the dark things that we contemplate on the
fucking
internet.
People, dude. All right. Would you rather be illiterate or take everything literally?
Each is as bad as the other. If you're illiterate, then you can't know knowledge. If you take everything literally, then you can't know knowledge. That's so brutal. I would say
I feel like you
I would
take
say
everything
illiterate
literally.
because someone could teach me. Illiterate because someone could teach me.
I feel like this is just one where like it's just like that forever. Like if you're illiterate, you're illiterate. If you take everything literally, you take everything literally.
No, but I mean in the sense that, yeah, I'm illiterate, I can't read the book, but somebody could read the book to me.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
Uh-huh.
But I mean also, okay, yeah, I can't really skew you either way because, I mean, it's not my point to give up. I kind of want you to lose.
This is not
points.
your place, Pladdy.
All right, so you're going with illiterate?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, hey, guess what? You lost a point.
Man, people are stupid.
Right?
They didn't think that one through. They did not think that through at all. They're like, yeah, I'm going to take everything literally. Clearly, that's what they already do.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
Okay, your one. This is incredibly insulting, as I said, to the groups involved here.
Okay.
So, would you rather be deaf or be Amish? As though being Amish were worse than being deaf. I love it.
Personally, this is my answer, but I'd rather be Amish because there's so many Amish people that live around me. But knowing how people are on the site, I'm gonna pick deaf.
You lost the point.
Are you kidding me?
It was 49 to 51.
What?
Wow.
Can I change my answer back though because I did say Amish first?
Sure. All right.
Yes.
Keep the game going because this is interesting. Yeah.
Yes. You want to bump it up 2 points, make it back to 3-3.
This is such a I'm really no. This is good because I want to ask you the next question. We'll keep it going like you just had it.
Okay, so it's still 1-1 left.
Yeah. Yes exactly. We are neck and neck.
Okay. That's an easy one. Okay. This is an easy one for me, actually. Would you rather have a hairstylist do your hair and makeup every day? Not so much the makeup, but the hair. Or would you rather have a fashionista pick a new outfit every day for you at a store? That's
Jesus.
Probably prepaid for.
The outfit, I guess.
Yeah? Well, I mean, you don't really have any hair to do, really. Well,
Yeah, it's not so, but it does make a difference, man. I just went into a Japanese salon the other time I got my haircut. I've been paying $10 for a haircut, and I was like, screw it. I hate these haircuts. I'm going in for a $40 haircut.
yeah,
It
yo,
was
it's a game changer.
amazing.
Yeah, you got to go with the quality haircut. It's life changing.
Yeah,
But
it did. Change
yeah.
my
So
life.
you keep your point.
Of course I did. All right, here's yours. I can't even believe that this is a question, so I think you'll. It's again the way that this infers the value of the sides to this is hilarious. So, would you rather be immortal or die right now?
Be immortal.
Yeah, no shit. Like who? 83% agree with you.
Yeah,
No
what kind of
shit.
question is that? Like,
That's dark. Somebody's like, "What immortal? Gross! I want
that's
to
gotta
dead."
be a super religious person hyped up on going to heaven person that made that.
This is the next one's interesting actually for you. This will be good. This is a great site for this. This is way better than our trying to come up with them. All right.
Well, especially for you because I feel like mine are prime. Yours yours get
mine
weak
suck.
sometimes. So
Yeah, they
mine'll get you thinking and make you feel dirty on the inside.
I'm gonna start writing them down. All right, questions.
Let me find a different one. That one's easy. Okay. Would you rather have the ability to have full control over your dreams or never have to sleep?
That is an excellent question.
Completely
Holy shit. That is really
lucid
good.
dreaming all the time or never have to sleep?
Lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
It's tough because the things you could do in your physical life if you never had to sleep are remarkable, but it's like trading. That's an excellent question. You could debate that till
yeah,
you're
68 people agree with you. I also agree with you. But if you never have to sleep, I mean, don't you think you'd get bored?
No.
I mean, you'd have to take so much Adderall.
Well, no. I mean, that's the thing is, I think it's suggesting that there's no fatigue associated with you. You just feel really good, right?
No, I know. No. That's not what I mean. I mean, like if I'm awake for like 3 days straight,
Yeah.
I just get so bored because I do
man.
so much. Like, I got nothing else to do.
No,
So
I
I
always
just
feel there's not enough time. It's one of my greatest frustrations. That also, we can create this little gap in the game here. That was something else that is now becoming a concern that health science is worried about. Is they're starting to see breakthroughs that would allow people to need to sleep for less, and they're worried because it would mean that if these are potentially expensive treatments, that those already in a position of power then be able to have to sleep less, would then become even more productive, would then create a greater polarization, which that's something we may have in the future, which is a whole interesting topic that's why I think it's so fascinating that you may not have to sleep as much. You may be able to sleep for 3 hours and have it be as though you had slept for 8 or whatever would have then restored you. So a really interesting topic for the next 10 or 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay, your question. This is
All
just
right.
cool. This is just interesting. Would you be a graphic designer or an architect?
Graphic designer, easy. I'm already a graphic designer.
You keep your point.
Yeah. I thought you meant that I made a good point right there. Sweet, I keep my point. All right. Okay. Would you rather have a beautiful lover that you were incompatible with, or have an ugly lover that you get along great with? This should be so fucking easy.
I will take the incredibly hot person that I don't like.
Yeah. Well, no. It's not that you don't like him. It's just that you guys are super different.
Okay,
Oh.
I lose my point.
Yeah.
That's because there's a bunch of goddamn liars who aren't honest about would they go with. They're like, no, I'd go with the ugly one that I'm compatible with. No, you wouldn't. Nobody would. You'd want the banging ass and titties. You wouldn't be going, or square jaw and whatever it is that women are going for, or there's too much political correctness.
Yeah, dude, that's
Yeah,
just
people are. That's a
people are
filthy, dirty
dumb.
lie.
Yeah, dude, there's so many fucking white knight fucking feminists on here.
Oh, that's
That right
garbage.
there. Actually,
I'll take the ugly bitch.
yeah. No, you
Yeah,
won't.
like hell you would.
You would not have
Well.
kids with that woman. You know damn well your kids are gonna get bullied if you have kids with that woman. You dummy.
Well, I mean, maybe it's a
you
good time to
dummy.
stop.
Like,
That
oh, people are just stupid.
Fuck. Well, it was going for some time too. So there we go. We've broken out. I get shot down by white knights and their bullshit, but you all listening to this know that you know what's in your dark hearts. You know.
I mean, since I got a redemption, we can also give you a redemption if you want one.
Well, I figure we've been playing. That's the problem. Is this game is so good now? We shouldn't abuse it. We should.
True.
Let's
Yeah.
move
True.
on to a
True.
new
True.
topic because
True.
we've been chatting for a while with this one.
All right, let me take that down. All right, back to the GIF of a cat scaring the shit out of a Doge.
Excellent.
All right, so I was gonna. The other option that you had was talking about this copyright topic. And I don't know if you heard about this or not. But the Fine Brothers, you know the Fine Brothers are. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
This whole. Yeah.
Oh, you know the story then, eh?
I'm a big YouTube whore, so if you're on YouTube, you're gonna see that as one of the popular trending things that's going on right now. So yes, I have heard tell of this.
Okay, because it's a pretty niche story, man. I didn't think that you would have known that it was a thing.
Yeah.
That in fact was sarcasm for all of you white knight feminists out there watching the show. All of you white knight feminists out there, fuck yourself, mate. Fuck yourself. Genuinely, fuck yourself because you probably have blue balls. But yeah, so what's your take on it? How do you feel about it?
I think it's interesting for a number of different reasons. I think it's a classic. First of all, I don't think they should have, with the way that I view information. I got to be careful. I watched it, I got in the know about it, and then I kind of forgot some of the details. The gist of it was that I had understood was that they wanted to copyright something very specific to their way of doing reaction videos.
No, it wasn't anything super specific.
Yeah.
They wanted to copyright the word react. So nobody on YouTube could use the word react in their titles without paying money, paying royalty fees.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you positive? Because I thought that was...
No, that was what they were trying to do. That was a big thing that they were trying to do. They were also they were also apparently flagging a bunch of people's videos who they thought were ripping off their thing when their format. They said we don't want people ripping off our format. So here's a network where we take like 40% of the 60% that you get back from YouTube and your network. So I mean, you'd be left with 20%, I think, as far as revenue goes on your videos, which is kind of fucking ridiculous.
Are you... Because, okay, so that's not how I understood it. The way that I understood it was that it was something more specific than that to their videos that they wanted to protect, but then the internet took it way out of context and thought that they meant what you just described there, that any video with the word react in it could no longer be used. But that was a misunderstanding, and it was a classic overreaction where people were like, you can't do that, you can't copyright the word react, that's not for you to do. That's like somebody copywriting, whatever other phrase, it would be ridiculous.
Well, it's just like how Sony tried to copyright Let's Play.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if that is in fact the case, then it is absolute and utter bullshit. And no, you cannot copyright the word react. I think that that's absolute garbage, and you should simply survive on the quality of your product, not that you have to pick people off for trying to do their own thing in a sort of vague reference to the work that you are also involved with. I think that would be utterly garbage. But then I thought that one thing that I have a lot of respect for speaking like really candidly now, and people can understand this to check it out because we don't have this huge group, so it's like it's almost safe for me to say it in this setting, is that as any sort of small business owner, any creator of a product, one approach that you can take is to say that you absolutely do not give a fuck. And some channels can be successful doing that, saying, I don't care if you subscribe. If you don't like me, then unsubscribe.
YouTube.com/PladdyOfficial.
Another method that you can take is usually to just kind of always assume that the customer is right. And that sort of approach I've seen usually has to be with really, 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 really large companies, big flagships. For example, the example I like to use is Destiny. I like to play Destiny, right? And
of course,
the number of misinformed opinions about bitching about Destiny are absurd. The number of little tweens, the number of full-grown adults, all offering their 10 cents, all clamoring to say the next incredibly immature thing, are legion. They're limitless. But then the approach that these companies have to take is that you are absolutely right. Every single one of you spoiled, over like entitled, overprivileged pieces of shit. You're all right, and you're our amazing community. And I'm always so impressed when companies are able to eat crow or swallow their ego and do that, because I'm like, man, that's fucking self-control, that you don't lose it on all these people that you create this content for, that you pour hundreds of hours in, and they don't appreciate for a second that you have thousands of people without any basis telling you how shitty you are, when you in fact have so much more information than they do about what it is that you're making. So I'm really impressed by that. I'm like, wow, self-control. And I noticed that the end result of these brothers was that not only did they rescind what they said that they were going to do, which was try and copyright React, which you've now made very clear to me,
yep.
But they are removing all other copyright claims that they had, essentially doing what I'm talking about, where they were like, you, the community, are absolutely right. We don't have a leg to stand on. And this kind of, it's almost like when you do this in this setting, you can turn the whole thing around, and you really can make a good situation of a bad one, where now people see, because they behaved like this, wow, they really do care. And now I'm going to subscribe more than ever. I'm going to watch more of their videos, blah, 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 blah. And they've actually got huge publicity because they did the shitty thing in the first place, where there's all these channels that never would have mentioned them before that have mentioned them. And then the end result is to do this big positive press release. It's like, if they actually intended to do this, it's quite Machiavellian in terms of manipulation. You get all the attention for the negative press to begin with, but then redeem yourself entirely by eating crow afterwards. So it's it's really, really, really impressive.
But they're still losing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers the past, even after they made that statement saying, you know what, we fucked up, they're still losing hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Like, it's getting to a point where I don't think they can recover from this, because they fucked up so bad. They made a video saying, hey, come join us, we're gonna take your money. Why wouldn't you do this? Because we can support, we can give you the rights to do this thing that you didn't need the rights for to begin with, because there are no rights for them to give you. All that they were doing was providing you with, oh hey, you're under the Fine Brothers umbrella. You know, that's all it was, and nothing else. Maybe a little bit of promotion, but even then, like, it's still not worth an extra 20% of the 60 that you get from your network. No, that's not everybody, but some people have better deals with their network. But still, I mean, if I made React videos, I wouldn't want my money an extra 20% of my money going towards these two Jewish guys in California that obviously don't need my money because they have how many super successful YouTube channels right now that are large businesses that are partnered through a company that is partnered with that is actually owned by Disney. These guys are never going to have to worry about money again in their life, yet they're trying to be selfish and get more of it.
It's a I agree that it's greedy. What they did, like I said, like unless it was some sort of Machiavellian manipulation of the system that they're involved with, it's really stupid and greedy. It's completely unnecessary. You're already successful. Why don't you develop this amazing creative product you have, as opposed to doing the same old bullshit market manipulation that corrupt people use to then further themselves? It's not that you've created anything, it's that you've monopolized something, and that doesn't make you a better creator or contributor. It makes you manipulative. So you wouldn't have to speak too long at length with me to get that agreement. I think that was incredibly poorly thought out, and probably speaks to them backtracking so hard on it, right? Like I said, not only did they rescind this thing where they said, okay, we're not going to go ahead and do that, they pulled all their patents. So they were like, man, we have got to do insane damage control.
And just doing that brought more attention to him and made more people unsubscribe. They shot themselves in both feet. They shot themselves in the foot with the initial upload, and then they shot themselves in the other foot with bringing it back to light because it was starting to die down. And then, oh, hey, okay, we're going to do this. We're sorry. Oh, well, all right. Well, I'm just going to keep on subscribing, you know? Like, everybody's just keep on subscribing, guys. We don't want them to recover from this because these guys are fucking snakes. You know, I genuinely thought before this, hey, you know, these guys are genuine, nice guys. You know, Shay Carl is friends with them. I don't know if you know who Shay Carl is, but Shay Carl seems like he's a really nice, you know, genuine guy. It could be because he's Mormon. Mormon people tend to be fairly nice people. But that's neither here nor there.
Quietly condemning you to hell.
Hey man, I'm not saying I am Mormon. If I line up with anything, I line up with Buddhism.
Interesting.
Yeah. But even then, like everybody that is friends with the Fine Brothers right now, I'm starting to look at under a microscope like, should I say subscribe to you? Are you just a money-hungry snake like these guys are? Is that why you were friends with these guys? Because you guys were, you know, working up some schemes to make some money and get millions of views and make something go viral? Like,
I mean, I don't think, I mean, we're all horrible. I mean, I don't mean that in this sort of like Catholic guilty sense. I just mean that humans are multifaceted. They have light and dark in them, and we're all money hungry. I think we are, and so for them to come across that fault, they're no different than you or I. Maybe we would act differently in the situation, but everybody gets tempted by that, and I don't think that it's the end of the road when you do that. That's kind of my personal approach to life for when people fuck up like this. But I don't think that this like in finality defines them.
Yeah,
so
but
I wouldn't.
The way that I look at it, and the way that everybody that not that I know, but everybody in my family looks at it, you can be rich, you can be the richest person in the world, but you have to earn it. And after you earn it, once you are in that top 1%, do something for the little guy as well. Because if you don't, you just look like a douchebag. You look like you started from the bottom and forgot all of the little people. You're like, fuck you guys that helped me get to this point. I don't need you anymore.
But that's like idealism run rampant there. Like the most people who are in the top 1% aren't there because they earned their way there. It's because of a legacy within their family.
And that's why it's so bad.
Oh, sure, but then to create this alternative reality where we're thinking that the people who have gotten there are these people who have then abandoned, where they came from. That would be by far the exception to the rule as opposed to kind of the standard.
Yeah, well, if somebody becomes a billionaire, quadrillionaire, and they pass away and their children inherit it, I mean, before that kid gets a look at any of that money, he should, at least learn what it's like to actually work a day in his life and have respect for the people that are making his empire run, basically.
In principle, I agree with you, absolutely. I mean, I think that should be the way it is, but of course we live in a world where anything can happen, and so it certainly does, good or bad.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, Fine Brothers, at this point right now, I say fuck you. I'm adding you guys to the list of people that I say fuck you to. I mean,
yeah, I would personally
that's a
never
long list.
Yeah, I would, it's funny because I've said this. Do I ultimately judge them? I'm like, no, you're not a horrible group of people. You did what I might have done in that situation. Would I ever subscribe to you anymore? Oh, fuck no.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, never.
It's
never.
a big fuck you to you guys. It's a big fuck you.
I don't hate you personally, but I would have nothing to do with you.
I mean, there's the feminist white knights that are a big fuck you, and then you're a millimeter below them with another big fuck you. That's where I rank them.
Yes.
So moving on towards gaming, and you mentioned Destiny, so I figured, hey, why don't we talk about The Division, Destiny in modern times, kind of.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you seen much of The Division yet?
Yeah, I've been following it quite a fair bit. Although, got to admit, I missed the beta, so I didn't. I suppose
it was
a ton of
closed. I think
out.
It was a closed beta.
But I mean, is there nothing then uploaded on YouTube from?
Oh
the
no.
From
I thought you meant actually play the beta.
Oh no, I just that I have not checked it out on YouTube from people playing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it basically looks like Destiny, but in third person all the time. And
yeah.
And you know me, I mentioned I'm not a fan of that third person action kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, if the gameplay is good, I'll fucking play it.
Sure.
But The Division, it looks like just a third person Destiny with a bigger map.
Awesome. Yeah, and of course with this kind of grittier, less sci-fi, although it does seem to have kind of sci-fi elements built into it, some of the weapons and gadgets you can use.
It's 100% got those sci-fi elements. One thing that I don't like is, why does everything have to have fucking nano robots and cyborgs and shit? Why is nothing sacred anymore, really, is what I...
Spirit of the times, my friend. You'll see that change eventually, just like you're feeling. There'll be a backlash to it, and it'll become more minimalistic, throwback, nothing advanced. It'll go. It's just the spirit of the times and what people are interested in feeling now, and the pendulum swings.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I see all these, there's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Oh, fucking, let's get exosuits on and drive robots and have cyborgs and shit. And then I watched Ex Machina, and it was a very, it was a a top 100 movie on my list. But it's a top 100 movie on my list, easy. But
sure.
And it's fairly recent too. I'm like, what's the deal with cyborgs and robots and shit? And I even the new Homefront game that's supposed to be coming out. It's oh, there's robots and cyborgs and drones and shit in this one too. What the fuck? Since when did North Korea have drones and cyborgs and robots and shit?
It's I've even, there was some podcast I was listening to, they said jetpacks everywhere, right? That's It's the thing. If it's, I mean, obviously it's wildly popular. That's why it's happening. It's what we get, what we want. If it's hell that we want, it's hell that we'll have. So that's that's what's happening. That's what's happening. I mean, I've always been a diehard fan of sci-fi, although I think it's so brutal. There's no good. It's so rare. Like Ex Machina, or however you want to call it, actually is a great example of modern stuff that's done well. But man, they seem to really, if you're gonna screw up, they screw up sci-fi movies so often.
Yeah,
Like it's hard to get really good ones. But anyways, that's separate from the gaming thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like we're talking about sci-fi as a broad topic right now, and with with talking about the Division added in. But I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it's just like horror movies. Horror movies used to be so fucking good, but then it just got so oversaturated and bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's the way that sci-fi is going now. I mean, like sci-fi, like it's not my forte, but I mean, like, Destiny does sci-fi right, Halo does sci-fi right, Mass Effect does sci-fi right. You know who doesn't do sci-fi right? Fucking Call of Duty, because they started off in World War fucking II.
Mm.
And I want to see another fucking World War II game, because that's the kind of gritty shit that I do like. I like learning about that shit. I like, seeing movies on that shit. I like playing games about that shit. World War II is interesting.
They got I think it's there was like I don't know if it's called World at War, what series that it's from.
Call of Duty.
But
World at War is Call of Duty.
is it okay? So not Call of Duty then. It's like the next game
Medal of
coming
Honor?
out with the Unreal 4 engine that's kind of in that same
Are you thinking of Medal of
vein.
Honor? Oh, Vane.
Is 1944 Battalion, or yeah, I think. And it's one of these massive 60 players aside maps, and they're going with the, like I say, they're going with the Unreal 4 engine, so it's going to look really good. And they wanted to do, yeah, this kind of like they always say this, what used to make games great. I mean, that's kind of played out too, saying that. But it is a return to the like old gritty World War II as opposed to the futuristic. And like you pointed out, and the developers are really focusing on, is that there is nothing like that right now because it's so oversaturated at the other end of things with the kind of sci-fi stuff that's coming out. So it's really smart.
Yeah, this is the one that got kickstarted, right?
It could be, yeah. 1944
1944 Battalion. Yeah, it got kickstarted.
Battalion, that's one. Yeah.
It got kickstarted in like what, almost a month?
Could be, and it shows, just like you've described, there is this other subgroup that's being ignored and are saying, here, take my money, but nobody's developing for them. So as soon as somebody came in to fill the gap, bam, they've got that interest.
Yeah, but circling back towards the Division, I'm buying it and I'm going to be playing it probably day one because it looks like an amazing game. And it looks like one of those games that does sci-fi right, but I swear to fucking God, if I need to buy a season pass to get the full game like I didn't do with Destiny, which
yes.
I'm kind of salty about because I paid fucking $80 for that game. If I don't get my full game that I pay for, like, I don't know if I'm ever going to play another Tom Clancy game or another Ubisoft game. I mean,
yeah, I'll be right there with you, man. I'm so stoked for that game. Really, really excited to play it.
Like
really excited.
I will pay $100 like I did for Fallout 4. If I don't need to buy a fucking season pass.
Oh, sure.
Mind you, I did pay $100 so I could get the season pass for Fallout 4 because, I'll buy a fucking season pass for a game that I've loved ever since I was a little kid. But
oh yeah, and I mean they have insane content.
Yeah, Fallout 4 is amazing. Plus console mods are coming. I mean, I'm super hyped for that.
What are console mods?
Yeah, I mean they're gonna have mods that you can get on the console for Fallout 4.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like you could install a mod like you might on a PC or something for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I got Fallout 4 on the PS4. I have it. I have it not really preloaded, but I have the download paused on Steam right now because I'm not ready to download it yet because there's no real mod support for it yet. Gotcha. As soon as like the creation kit comes out for Fallout 4, I'm gonna actually download and install Fallout 4 so I can play the true Fallout 4 experience with mods. But yeah, the Division. I'm really looking forward to it. If I need to buy a season pass, never buying another Ubisoft game again in my life. Simple as that. Either keep the season pass a fucking secret like Destiny did, or
sneaky bastards.
Right? Fucking Bungie. I thought I trusted you guys. Halo 3 was great. There was no fucking season pass for Halo 3. Fuck. That was Halo 3 was old school shit too. Well, not really old school, but it's like Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4 was like when like well, not really console, but like gaming in general really fucking picked up. And it was great. Like it became a mainstream thing. But yeah, so was there any more topics that you wanted to hit on, or?
No, that would be good for me, man, and that kind of like taps me out here that I should be able to finish the editing for the video I'm going to get up today. Crazy Japanese drivers.
Right.
And this has been great to get back in the swing of things again, because this was enjoyable.
Damn right, dude. Chat. So same time next week, maybe, if you're not doing something.
No, I totally would. There should be this works really, really well for me. So
yeah, this works really well for me too, because I'm not up till 4:00. Well, I'm gonna be up till 4:00 in the morning anyways, but I mean, you know, I can get a lot more done before 4:00.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's a show, of course, as always. Dave, go ahead with your plugs.
Oh yeah, please do check out Dave Trippin, and if you found me on the channel and you've gotten this far on The Great Owl, I really, really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more content. Check out my website if you want to do some reading. Book to be published shortly, available on Amazon. And thank you. If you guys didn't check this stuff out, it would just be me and Pladdy talking to ourselves. So very, very grateful.
Yeah, of course. And as always, you know, it's been your Plaid. Don't join my fuck you list, because if you do join my fuck you list, fuck you. Of course, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to me on YouTube. I mean, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I don't really fucking use it. I deleted my Facebook page because fucking shit's stupid, useless, fucking, I mean, not for everybody, but for me, I mean, I don't fucking use it. But yeah, guys, nevertheless, it's been your Plaid. I enjoy potatoes. And peace out, motherfuckers. This has been the Great Potato Podcast, episode number 7.